A vampire story. Part 17. If you ain't seen parts 1 through 16, they're in my playlist, or you won't understand this at all. And before we get started, TikTok, this is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Don't get your motherfucking panties in a wad. So Tristan is at this roach motel. Okay, he has all this money, but has to get a shitty ass motel to tell Lauren exactly what's going on, or they're done. She has told him, we are done, buddy. If you don't tell me what's going on, we done. And baby, he does. He tells her. And she's like, no, I've seen vampire movies. You guys are not vampires. You're just fucking rich. That's the problem. And that's when he tells her it's not like the vampire movies you've seen. Okay, to where they can't go out during the day. You know, they can't, they have to feed on humans and etc. They're afraid of crosses. No. Apparently that's fucking old school. And at this point, she's still like, you know what? I'm going to listen to him because I think he's high, whatever. And I'm just going to go with it because he's trying to make excuses because his family is super elite, super weird. And his sister was all over him at the bar one time. And it was really cringe. But she trying to, like, in her mind go, And that's when he tells her, because she's like, no, 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 no. He's like, watch this. He pulls out a little vial, sticks it in his arm, and his eyes go suddenly black. Like the third twin from The Shining, Draper. And she's frightened, and she goes to leave, and he goes by the door, not super quick, like no Twilight type shit was happening, but he was like, no, please don't leave, I need your help, I want out, stick with me, this is going to be kind of long. Well, then he immediately pulls out a needle, and he stands there, wraps something around his arm, and injects. And when he does, his eyes immediately, and he keeps them open the entire time, go back to normal, she said. Prettiest hazel eyes she's ever seen. Most beautiful man she's ever seen. She's in love with this guy. And that's when he tells her their family got cursed many, many, many years ago. And in her mind, she's still like, no, 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 this is all myth. This kind of shit don't just happen. You know what I mean? It don't. And then he reaches in his pocket and he pulls out a box. And he said, I had plans to ask you. He was like, I'm going to be disinherited no matter what. And it was a very beautiful marquee cut diamond with 2 rubies on the side. Extremely beautiful, very small, but beautiful. And he said it had been in their family. Okay, the stones, not the actual gold itself, but the stones had been in his family for 500 years. And he gets down on one knee and he says, Lauren, will you marry me? And immediately she's like, what do I do? Do I run? I'm in love with this man. You got to remember what I told you. He would be like our Jacob Ellerty. And he's not a frat. He's just from a super blue blood family who has weird shit going on. And at this point, she thinks he's insane, possibly. And a girl before told him he had a lot of bodies. Not like, you know what I mean? But like a lot of women. And she's like, Tristan, this is too much. It's too much. And he's like, baby, come here. I want to talk to you. Please don't leave. Let me talk to you. And so she sits down back on the bed. They start talking. And she's like, look, I'm not saying yes. I'm not saying no. Because she don't want to upset him. What if he really is a grampire? You know what I mean? A grampire. But what if he's mentally ill and just something sets him off? And his family's weird as fuck anyway. And that's when he tells her that he was engaged to another girl named Holly, Caitlin's friend, and that her family was a different type, a different faction. And that's when she's like, so if I said no and I walked away right now, what would happen? He's like, I'm just going to let you walk away. And she's like, but what if I told anyone? He said, my family's so wealthy, they would never believe you. We would bury you in paperwork. And she described this night as the most weirdest, most beautiful night she's ever had in her life in a roach motel, okay? Literally, it was cockroaches climbing. And she asked him, she was like, so what is this disinheritance about? Because his friend was shouting in the bar, you can't even get a tattoo. Tell her you can't be with her. Tell her what it's about, Tristan. And that's when he tells her there are like 50,000 million, 5011 stipulations on his and Caitlin's inheritance. Come to find out, Caitlin's not his bio sis. That is one of his uncles on his dad's side's kid that was raised with him. Oh, yeah. And she was all over him. And remember how I told you that his mother and his father were first cousins? It was supposed to be a thing. Oh, yeah. To keep the money in the family. But see, that's where it gets twisted, is because not only is it to keep the money in the family, but it's to keep the bloodline pure so they can treat it. Oh, I hate knowing the details. I hate knowing the details of this story. I'll be back again for another part. I'm sorry. I'm wrapping this up tonight, though, so stay with me. Because if it gets longer than 3.5 minutes, it's hard to upload, and this is already going to take forever to come out of processing. But the next part, I swear, is the last part.